Hey guys, so I am doing a review on Miss Jodylynn's review of Banish, and I am so grateful that Jody took time to really do such a thorough review on the products. She was not sponsored for that video, but girl, you know your shiz. Like, I've been doing this for a million years. I've had my business since 2013, and she offered some really great suggestions and questions, and I would just kind of like to respond. And then also I'm like 6 months pregnant, so I can barely breathe. Okay. So if I'm out of breath in this video, you'll know why. But let's go ahead and watch Miss Jodylynn's video together. So let's get into the video, and I'm playing this on my old iPhone, so we'll see.
This is by far my favorite non-electrical microneedling pen. Today we're diving deep into the Banish Microneedling Kit. I'll be talking to you about what it does, what makes it special, and give you some pluses and minuses. I'm also going to be giving you a detailed look at its accompanying products that they suggest using with this pen. I'm going to talk to you about what's good, what's great, and what's not so great. Let's get started.
And girl, are you 52? Okay, these are goals. Okay, Jody, 52. Seriously, I had no idea until I just actually saw it here.
Let's talk about what's great about this pen. They did send this kit to me, just so you know that this is not a sponsored video. I always review products and give you my honest opinion. 3 reasons I love this pen. First one is its large surface area, making it a breeze to cover more skin in less time. Also, I love how thin these needles.
Okay, large surface area, I think, is such an important nuance to the development of this product. So y'all know it takes about like 2-3 years to develop every iteration of the Banisher. With our actual skincare products, it takes about 18 months to 2.5 years. So it takes a really long time to develop these products because if you guys know, like, I'm not happy with anything, and I'm like very, very picky about everything I do in my life. Like, I'm kind of a perfectionist, but I'm glad the surface area, Jody caught up on it, because for me it was like, how do I create the largest surface area? And you can see that the product is in a conical shape, so it's even pressure amongst through all the needles. But if you do have active acne, I wanted people who had active acne in places, because it was originally intended for acne scars, hence Banish acne scars, so they could go around. So I wanted not too large, but large enough so you don't spend like your whole day microneedling, because we're booked, we're busy, okay?
Which in my opinion gives you less downtime, which we all love, because the thinner needles will actually close up much quicker. The skin will actually close up much quicker. I'm going to be talking about that more in a moment, and let's just talk about this amazing sanitizing cup.
Okay, so the needles are thin. They're the thinnest out there on the market. They're gold-plated titanium needles, and the reason why they're so thin is because I am prone to scarring. I have every single scar in the entire world. Everything on my body, it leaves a scar. And actually, I do have some scars from using the Dr. Pen device because just the needles were way too thick for my skin. So I wanted to create a device that was like absolutely foolproof, that like would not harm anyone's skin, but at the same time be super effective in collagen induction therapy, which again, my company is called Banish Acne Scars. And with acne scarring, it is very, very, very difficult to treat. You really have to build up the collagen and that loss of scar tissue. I want something that wouldn't leave a scar, but also build collagen. Like, I want it all. Can you have your cake and eat it too?
This is a brilliant idea. We're going to talk about that and how you can make this squeaky clean.
Okay, so sanitizing cup, yes, because I'm a girl on the go, okay? I don't have a 10-step skincare routine at night. I literally spend like 2 minutes before bed to just do my nighttime routine. So a girl's busy, a girl's gotta go, and sometimes you wanna travel with it, you wanna protect it, you wanna keep it clean, and that is what the patent on my product is for.
Very quickly. Okay, so what is the pen and what does it do? It is a 0.5 microneedling pen, and it is actually collagen induction therapy. Most people don't know that. There is a huge difference in a 0.25 or 0.5 when we're talking about microneedling. And there's so many companies coming out now with their own pens that they forget to share this with you. And I think it is so important to share with you. So a 0.25, which is otherwise known as cosmetic needling, can actually help penetrate products deeper into the skin. And while the 0.5 can do that as well, but the 0.5 is actually hitting the dermal layer of the skin, which actually produces collagen. And that is the real reason why, in remodeling, I guess, of the skin, that is the real reason why it's called collagen induction therapy. So according to Dr. Sutterfield, I have read his book and I'm a huge fan of him. He is one of the world's foremost dermal needling experts. He's done a ton of research on microneedling and the different needle lengths. He's an educator, skin treatment specialist, and international speaker. And like I said, a 0.5 is considered medical microneedling, and it should be done with caution. And I feel like a lot of the companies.
So 0.5, the reason why the Banisher is 0.5 and has been 0.5 for like the past 10 years, is 0.5 is enough to trigger collagen induction, and you don't need to go further than that. There's been studies that say a 0.5 actually produce more collagen than a 2 millimeter, okay? So your skin is only about 1 millimeter thick, and it depends. If you're older, it's thinner than that. So why would you go deeper? You just need to trigger that collagen to be like, oh shit, I need to replicate and fill that gap and wound heal. But you don't need to go any deeper, because then you go into like the fat. And we talked about how people have had really bad results with Morpheus 8 because it goes so deep into the skin, and that radio frequency actually melts the fat, causing people to lose volume loss. And volume loss is not what you want, okay? I say volume loss in the tummy area, the thighs, you know, not on the cheeks, not on the face.
Companies that are coming out with all of these, microneedling pens don't really emphasize that. And so I want to make sure that I'm doing due diligence and making sure that you are aware of that. So it's going to help to create collagen, like I said, which is going to help to minimize fine lines, wrinkles, give you a little bit of a lift. It's also going to minimize hyperpigmentation, acne spots, dark spots. It's going to reduce texture of the skin. It's going to get rid of acne scarring and just provide you with brighter, overall smoother skin. I've been doing microneedling for years, and I've tried many stamps, rollers, electric devices. Microneedling does work. You just need to be cautious and take great care, because you don't want to mess anything up. Okay?
So when I started this business, I was young, like in my mid-20s. About wrinkles or fine lines, but now that I am closer to 40 now and I've not gotten filler or Botox, microneedling has done wonders for my skin. Because if you think about it, treating acne scars at home is so difficult, because acne scarring is that loss of collagen in a very specific place, and to minimize the appearance of scarring, you need to make sure that collagen goes from here to here, so it's like a smooth flat surface. So microneedling is that effective in producing collagen in your skin. You think about it. You can lift and raise an ice pick scar from a cystic acne and push it up so that your skin is like smooth. Think about what it does if you do it regularly on your face. So with consistent use, microneedling will be so good for the prevention of collagen loss. Now, you cannot prevent like aging, right? And I think aging is such a privilege. And we also lose 1% of collagen after like 18 years old, but we can reduce the rate at which that collagen is lost. So we're still gonna age, okay? We're still gonna age, we're still gonna get lines, we're still gonna get volume loss. That's just how Mother Nature has made us. But we can at least reduce the speed of that.
All right, so what makes them stand out, what makes this pen stand out, is the needles are the thinnest gold-plated titanium needles that are out there. These needles provide a more comfortable needling experience. I can attest to that, ensuring a smoother and less invasive session compared to standard needles. I feel like I have pretty sensitive skin compared to others, especially when we're microneedling. The downtime for me has always been a little bit longer when I've used other pens in the past, and I would say that this one gives me my downtime. My downtime is only about 15 to 20 minutes, which is like, holy cow, that's amazing.
That's really crazy, because the stratum corneum closes in 15 minutes. So is it coincidental the downtime's only 15 minutes? And it's because the needles on this device are the thinnest needles, but they're also pointed, very pointy. Like if you look at it from a microscope, you'll see how they're more pointed. Other needles, they're actually like flat at the top. And also the vitamin C serum that you put on is like super gentle, but it has L-ascorbic acid, so it's not gonna like cause much irritation.
So I really love that thus far about this pen. And this is obviously going to definitely determine on your skin sensitivity. Just because the irritation goes down in about 15 to 20 minutes for me doesn't necessarily mean that that will happen with you, but just kind of make note of that. Also, another thing that I love about this, especially when we're talking about any type of microneedling stamp, is that the needles press straight down into the skin, which doesn't cause any tears in the skin. Like rolling the skin can kind of create some additional tears in the skin. So I prefer a stamping method rather than a roller. Let's talk about the good. So the products to me are good. They are well formulated. They do.
So you know my whole spiel about stamper versus rollers. Again, rollers aren't bad, and I think especially in the body when you need to cover a large surface area and the skin on your body is much thicker, you know, if it like scars your body, it's not as bad as if your face. But with your face, let's just, you know, less is more.
Do have a little bit of concerns. So what they sent me was their vitamin serum and their vitamin C moisturizer. The vitamin C serum is glycerin based. It is an L-ascorbic acid, which I absolutely love, which is going to help with hyperpigmentation, is the most research when we're talking about hyperpigmentation. Also,
so I chose L-ascorbic acid for the formulation of the vitamin C serum because, again, with acne scarring, you need to build collagen. So I was like, we need the heavy duty shiz, okay? So L-ascorbic acid is the most studied, it is the most heavy duty, and Banish's vitamin C serum is clear, which means it is not oxidized, which means it is more effective than a vitamin C serum that is brown. For example, I won't say the name, but the 190 vitamin C serum that you get, that is, you know, the vitamin C serum, is dark. Like when you get it, it's like a brown color when you get it, okay? It means it's oxidized. If you leave the Banish serum out for 6 months, it will turn orange. But all of our products are made in small batches. We have a team in Pasadena that does this, which is why the products are priced the way they are. Labor is very expensive. But I chose to do it that way because it's like eating an apple. Like, do you want to eat a fresh cut apple or do you want to eat an apple that's been like shriveled up and like just not juicy and crisp anymore?
it has ferulic acid, which really should be paired with an L-ascorbic acid. The only thing that I really didn't love about this formulation is that it does.
So ferulic acid is really great because it's actually an ingredient from plant cell walls and it really brightens the skin. So I love using products with ferulic acid, especially if you have like an event or a photo shoot or just something where you just need to look glowy. It will literally glow your skin. Because think about it, it protects plant cell walls from damage from the sun, so it just really protects your skin.
Have a rose extract, and it does have rose as kind of like a fragrance, and I'm going to talk to you more about that later because that is potentially could be irritating to the skin. I'm not a rose fan. If you are, let us know in the product description below, but it does have some jojoba oil, which is absolutely brilliant.
So I want to preface this by saying people think that like, oh, if you have an ingredient in something and it could be like, for example, comedogenic, or it could be blah, 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 doesn't mean it will be. So our product, to me, it barely smells like rose. It's just the lightest like tinge of rose. And again, my product was made for people with acne scarring. So that means that they've suffered with acne. And rose oil is actually really good, antibacterial, antioxidant for those people who do suffer with acne. So that's why it's on there. Again, to me, it doesn't smell super strong. I barely notice it, but maybe if you're very sensitive to that smell, couldn't be. But I think it's just because it's like the OG formulation, and I really try my best to not change the formulation once it's been tried and true and tested. I know other brands will because there's cheaper ingredients. Like everything has gone up, so a lot of companies want to use different like formulations. We really try our best not to. And it's been tricky. It's been tricky with razor thin margins sometimes, but we haven't increased our prices. Like that Banish serum, we have not increased it since like 2018.
Brilliant for hydration. And the cream, really lovely. The retinol serum, I think, is really beautiful as well.
If you guys have not tried the Alpha Arbutin Vitamin C cream, that is my favorite product at the moment right now. And if you ask me my favorite product at Banish, it's like asking my favorite child. So you know it's like, if you guys haven't tried the Alpha Arbutin cream, vitamin C cream, literally if you're looking for something that makes you look like butter, like your skin looks like a tub of margarine, try that.
It's a ceramide retinol serum. I think this is a great starter. I love the ceramides. It's going to help to protect the skin barrier and also keep it really super hydrated. So I love that. Let's talk about their gel. They've got a fighter gel that they sent me. I didn't really use this. This is going to be more for calm break.
So for retinols, I cannot use Retin-A. I cannot use most retinols. my skin is very, very thick, so it doesn't really turn over the way it's supposed to, and it just looks very crusty. I've tried it for like 3 months. And now that I'm pregnant, I won't be able to try for a long time. So, but actually the retinol serum for us is so gentle, and there's such a small amount. I still use it even though I'm pregnant. It's like they say, like, don't drink coffee or don't have sushi. I do it anyways.
That's an eczema skin. I don't have that. But I think this is also going to be very helpful for if you've got a sunburn, which you shouldn't, because you should be wearing SPF daily. But of course, it can happen. It does have a very strong peppermint scent. It is something that when you add onto the skin, it gives you kind of this cooling effect. I love that it's highly concentrated with aloe. It looks like kind of an aloe gel, which is going to be great for really irritated skin. Not a fan of the peppermint. We'll talk more about that in just a moment, but that might be great for you. All right, they're pumpkin mask.
All right, so peppermint is like an anti-inflammatory and antibacterial, so that's why it's in there. And also, I created this product because I suffer with psoriasis, eczema, and when you have that, I was scratching my legs like crazy. My whole leg would just be dripping in blood, because that's how, like, when you have psoriasis, you just want to scratch until, like, you bleed your insides, right? And so the peppermint and the menthol is there to kind of cool it, so that way it prevents me from scratching, at least in that moment.
This is their pumpkin enzyme mask. Holy cow, you guys. First of all, this smells like pumpkin and great for the fall. It's like I want to go to Starbucks right now and get a pumpkin latte. It's really, really, truly beautiful. The amount of acids in here are really quite stunning, and I find the formulation in this pumpkin mask really lovely. The first ingredient is walnut shelled powder. At first I was like, ah. However, it's a powder form. You're not feeling any, like, there's no texture, there's no abrasion in here at all. It is very, because of that powder, it is very.
Do you remember when Kylie Jenner released her, like, walnut scrub, and everyone was, like, going at her because it contained walnut shell, not powder. It was like walnut shells, okay? So I will say that our Acne Blaster does have, not walnut shells, but a little thicker of an exfoliant, and that's because the Acne Blaster should be used on your body, because the skin on your body is much thicker than skin on your face. If you use the actual walnut shell, you can create micro tears in your skin, which we don't want. We're trying to solve the acne scarring. But yeah, this has walnut shell powder. Plus, for the pumpkin, you're not scrubbing it. You're putting it on your face and then you're washing it off. So even if it was walnut shell, like, it wouldn't scratch your skin because you're not, like, rubbing it.
Very smooth to touch. So I love all of the acids in here for brightening the skin. This is going to be great at, you know, giving you a beautiful exfoliation and getting rid of the top layer of the skin cell. Like, it's just really beautiful for brightening. I say go in twice a week with this, you know, keeping it on the skin for about 10 to 15 minutes. Truly stunning. I would put that enzyme mask in the great category. Let's talk about how to use this system. I'm going to tell you how.
So our pumpkin enzyme mask is one of our best sellers, and we've had that product and that formulation for a million years, since 2013 when I started. It truly gives you an instant glow. So if you're going to an event or filming something, put it on before you go in the shower. Use the hot water from the shower and just, like, massage, because the Acne Blaster should be used on your body, because the skin on your body is much thicker than skin on your face. If you
how they want you to use it, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts after that, okay? So they're indicating that you can use the pen up to every twice a week, or excuse me, up to once a week. So every other week or up to once a week. So what you're going to want to do is wash the hands, clean the face, make sure that your face is super squeaky clean. I would not use any moisturizing cleansers because sometimes that can leave a film on the face. I would use a gel cleanser.
And in fact, our All Clear Mint Cleanser from Banish is a gel cleanser. Haha, water-based, aloe-based gel cleanser. I also, because I am, like, OCD, I take a cotton ball with some alcohol and I put it on my face just to keep it extra squeaky clean. Obviously, we don't want to be putting alcohol on our face every day, because it can dry out your skin, but for those every other week microneedling sessions, totally okay.
And I also like to use a Hibit cleanse, which is like what surgeons use to really get everything squeaky clean and sanitized. You can also use these little pads. These are 70% alcohol pads. I have used this many times to just with the face and get it super squeaky clean. Then what you're going to want to do, and this is another thing that I love, fill the cap. You're going to fill this with 70% rubbing alcohol. You're going to put this on here. You're going to let it sit for 5 minutes to sanitize the needles, and then you're going to allow it to air dry. Then what you're going to go in is on your clean, squeaky skin, you are actually going to do 3 stamps per area you treat. So what I like to do is go into a horizontal fashion. So like bam, 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 bam. That is 1 stamp. And then I'm doing vertical, bam, 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 bam. Do you see what I'm saying? That's 2 stamps. And then diagonal, dun, 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 dun. That would be your 3 stamps. So you want a good amount of erythema. And what that means is pink. You want it to be pink.
So I do it differently because I'm more of like a target treating person. I just treat like, I have acne scars here, and then I have my nasolabial folds. So I just go in a certain area and I just stamp, take it out, stamp, take it out, stamp, take it out. So I kind of rotate it. You rotate it in the air. Do not rotate it on your face. We were like, no, you're not like screwing a nail in, okay? You screwing a screw in. You're stamp, up, rotate, stamp, up, rotate. But however you want to do it, as long as you're not dragging it, is okay with me.
You don't want it to be like super, super massive red, but just a nice pinkness is really kind of what we're going for.
Honestly, the more I microneedle, like when I first started microneedling, my face was like bright red. Now it doesn't even look like anything. Most of the time it looks like I just went out for a run for like 10 minutes and then it goes back to normal. And I truly believe like the more of the microneedling, it just doesn't really affect, like my skin is just like not as red.
Going for, you're not going to want to microneedle over any active acne or rashes. Then what they say to do is then you're going to want to apply the vitamin C serum. You're going to apply that to the skin. You're not going to add anything else. Okay, that's the vitamin C serum. You're done, and nothing else. And then of course, like I said, in the morning.
So what I do is I take the vitamin C serum. Okay, do not touch the vitamin C serum to anything. Sorry, the dropper to anything. I've seen people like touch it to their microneedle skin. No, please, no, we're not touching it. So you take it out of the dropper, and then I like to squeeze it on a cotton ball and then put it on my skin, okay? I don't even like to put it on my fingers because, you know, I'm OCD. But please, for the love of God, nobody touch it to their hands, touch it to their fingers, touch it to their freshly microneedled face, because you touch the dropper, you put it back, ooh.
Definitely, you need to be using your SPF. And then you can use the serum and the cream twice a day. You can use.
Oh, so Jody said you don't need to apply anything on top. You don't. If you want, I apply the vitamin C cream on top of microneedling. So I put the vitamin C serum and then I put the vitamin C cream. I like slather that shiz on like a thick layer. So my face is like kind of white, and then 5 minutes it just instantly like soaks into my skin. In the morning I have the most insane glow. So you can do that. You can use like a very gentle moisturizer if you want to. Just make sure none of the ingredients will react with a vitamin C serum or with an L-ascorbic acid serum. So like a very gentle moisturizer would be fine, as long as it's not like, you know, has like acids in there and stuff.
The retinol every single evening, and then, you know, the fighter gel as needed, the pumpkin mask every 2 weeks. So that's kind of how this works. And then, of course, you are going to want to go in and sanitize this again, just like you did at the beginning of the treatment. And of course, consult your dermatologist before using this if you are.
And we sell the replaceable heads on our website too, so that way you don't need to buy a whole new kit every time you want to change it. And you need to change it frequently, like, because just because the needles are so thin, if you think about a tree branch that's very thin versus a tree trunk, like of course a tree branch is going to snap, right? So because we don't want to scar the skin, we need to keep the needles very thin, but at the same time we need to replace it.
Using a prescription-based acne medication, and always, if anything in massive irritation is happening, you're going to stop it, and you're definitely going to want to talk to your dermatologist. All right, let's talk about my thoughts about the process and things that I think that are not so great. So one of the things that's not so great, in my opinion, is that you cannot purchase this alone. I'm really frustrated by that. You have to buy the kit. So just kind of keep that in mind. There are a couple of different kits, and I will.
So the reason why you buy the Banish kit, or the Banish kit comes by like together, is because I started this business in 2013 with the Banish kit. And that's what we're known for. That's our best-selling product. And it's like free, right? So we're including it even though we're not like charging for that extra serum, because I know our serum is our most repurchased product, I would say. So even if you sell it at a loss in the beginning, you get more repeat purchases. And this vitamin C serum, I mean, you guys, people have repurchased like 50, I mean, like a lot of times. So it was just kind of a business decision, as like, we don't really have samples. We're a small business, you know, and the vitamin C serum is made fresh, so we can't really do massive, large, you know, samples. So I just decided to include it, even if it's at a loss, in the Banish kit, because I know and I'm confident that people will repurchase many times and we will make it up for the lifetime value of the customer. Yeah, so that's the reason why. It's not like, you know, there's no like malicious intent. I just wanted people to really try this serum because, in my opinion, with acne scars and with brightening the skin, it works the best when you microneedle and use the serum together. I think both, putting two products together, you get an exponential effect versus one or the other.
I will put those off to the side so you can kind of see that. The kit does include 2 replacement cartridges, and you are definitely going to want to replace the cartridges about every 8 to 10 times that you use it. And I say that if it is a small area, like I only did my forehead while I was doing this review. I did it 4 times so far. I've done this pen, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But if you're doing a smaller area, I say 8 to 10 times you're going to want to replace the cartridge. If you are doing a larger area, you know, consistently, then probably about 4 to 6 times you're going to want to replace the cartridges.
Yeah, so you do want to replace the cartridge frequently, because again, a skinny tree branch versus a big tree trunk, okay? Like, you got to think it's going to break, and you also just want to keep it clean. But also remember, different parts of your face have different thicknesses. So for example, your forehead, I believe, is thinner than like your cheeks. And then under the eye is the thinnest, right? So if you're using the Banisher on your body, you're going to need to replace it significantly more than if you use it like under your eyes. If you use it on your scalp, I recommend replacing it every single time, because the scalp is like really, really thick, okay? But use your best judgment. Like, you know, it's like, when should you replace shaving razor blades? It's not like there's a hard science to it. You just have to feel the product out and like inspect it before you use it.
I'm not a fan of putting this serum on right after using this pen. I tend to be very conservative when we're talking about medical microneedling at a 0.5 needle length. I personally like to stick with Dr. Lance Setterfield's research, which should be that when you're doing a 0.5 or higher, that you want to use skin identical ingredients when microneedling. So that would be like hyaluronic acid, growth factors, stem cells.
So I love how Jody is giving her honest opinion about this, because we've had questions about like, why not put like a hyaluronic acid, all this stuff. So the product was intended for collagen building in the skin, and it was intended to treat acne scarring. And if you ask any derm or skin professional, acne scars is one of the hardest things to treat, and this is why acne scar treatments are thousands of dollars. It's not an easy thing, okay? When you have permanent damage to the skin caused by cystic acne, it's like very, very like deep, thick damage to the skin. You need heavy duty shits, okay? It needs to be heavy duty. Like, we are talking like, you know, not like this gentle moisturizer. So L-ascorbic acid has been one of the most studied ingredients, especially in vitamin C, to induce collagen. It helps boost collagen and helps brighten the skin, which is what you need to fade your acne scars, to get rid of your acne scars. So L-ascorbic acid inhibits a melanin production, so it will brighten and lighten that dark spot. And the L-ascorbic acid will also produce collagen. So again, remember, your scarring is like this, and it's going to go here. There's been a lot of like misnomer about vitamin C. Does it cause granulomas? All that. I have a bajillion videos about it, which I will link. But basically, vitamin C serum after microneedling does not cause granulomas. In the study that they did, which I actually printed out all these studies here, it was because that vitamin C serum from that particular brand was actually infected. A lot of people don't want to recommend it because that one patient in that one study had a bad reaction. Doesn't mean that everybody will, okay? And that vitamin C serum from that specific brand, which I will not name, actually has been pulled from the shelves. Like, they do not sell it anymore. But it's like saying, you know, it's like saying you eat like a bad yogurt, okay, and you get food poisoning. It doesn't mean that all yogurt is going to be bad for you, right? It was that particular one. So for me, when making this company and making this system, it was how do I get the most heavy duty product that will really actually treat acne scars? Because I didn't want it to be like a BS snake oil. Like it better like lift those scars up. The other ingredients in the vitamin C serum are so gentle that it kind of counteracts like irritation L-ascorbic acid could give you. So if you might have very, very sensitive skin, the vitamin C serum might be a little bit too heavy duty for you. In that case, use a little bit less, or try the lightweight vitamin C cream from Banish, or try the alpha arbutin vitamin C cream. Alpha arbutin is really good also for lightening dark spots. Or, use a hyaluronic acid. If you can't tolerate vitamin C, use a hyaluronic acid. But I was like, we are not going to go gentle when the whole point of this is to treat acne scarring, right? And also the flip side is when you're treating acne scarring, you're inducing collagen. So inducing collagen, we want heavy duty stuff. Like, we don't want something that's just going to moisturize our skin, right? My company was never called Keep Your Skin Hydrated. It was called Banish Acne Scars.
Stem cells. That's what I usually use when I am microneedling, and I like the formulation to be super squeaky clean, very low percentage preservative, and I like to use any oils as well, lavender oils or any other types of oils. And the reason for that is because it can definitely irritate the skin. So at a 0.5, I don't feel that those ingredients need to go that deep.
So 0.5 is medical needling, but it's like barely medical needling. Like, and it really depends, again, on how thick your skin is. If your skin is very thick, 0.5, to me, is almost cosmetic needling. If it's very thin, you're much older, or you're going on a space where your skin is very thin, it will be very medical needling. Again, so it's very, very person dependent. Do you guys hear my dog barking? And again, just because there is a specific ingredient in something that could irritate your skin doesn't mean it will in a certain formulation, because it is so low, right? So I think there's a lot of misnomer. People automatically freak out when they see like, oh my God, this ingredient. But a lot of times it's at such a low percentage, it's not really going to do much. But at the same time, when you are needling, you should be careful about what you're putting on top of your skin. So both truths are valid. I think the best piece of advice I would give is, even before needling, just try the vitamin C serum on your face, do a patch test and see if you have any irritation. So that way, if you do, you're not going to, cause any more sensitivity by putting it over your whole face. Or just do a patch test of, using it like in a certain area and see if you have any irritation.
Deep and could potentially be irritating to your skin. So just kind of keep that in mind. Also, using this pen 1 to 2 times a week can be kind of concerning to me as well. Again, because I am pretty conservative and stick to Dr. Lance Setterfield's research that says you should probably be microneedling about every 4 weeks. With that being said, and that would be more for anti-aging, because you want that, everything happens during the healing process. That's when the magic happens. However, I do know that there has been dermatologists and doctors, and there are times that he even, Dr. Setterfield, has recommended to do certain treatments once a week or once every other week. So that's not a big deal to me. I would really just listen to your skin, but I did want to share that because...
So I liken it to working out. Like, you can't do 2 heavy leg days in a row. You need time for your legs to recover and for your muscles to build up. Same with your skin. However, like, since I'm a fitness person too, the more fit I've gotten, the more muscle I've built, it is easier for me to do like 2 leg days, right? Because you're stronger. So it's very similar with microneedling. Like, when you start out, I might only do once a month or once every other week. And that is, you build up, you could go to once a week, but I would not go any more than once a week. And for me, honestly, now, because I'm lazy, there's like completely weeks that I forget. But what I also do is I just target treat. So again, like, I'm exhausted, I have a lot of stuff going on, I will just do the nasolabial folds, call it a night. And then maybe the next week I will just do the nose and call it a night. Next week I'll just do the cheeks and call it a night, right? So for me, I don't do my whole face at once. I just feel like it's too much. I'll just do different sections and then kind of spread it out throughout the month.
Because if your skin, if you wanted to be like, I'm going in, I know a lot of people do this, I'm going in, I'm going to do this every week, but you're noticing that your skin is not really calming down within that week, you're not going to want to continue to do this, okay? That is not, you want your skin.
And it also depends on, like, what else are you doing? Like, I don't do anything else, okay? I just do this and that's it. So if you're doing a lot of other facials and peels and treatments, you need to space this out even more. If you have a sunburn, don't do it. If you were at the beach all day, don't do it. You know, like, use your best judgment, right? It's like working out. If you're just not feeling good, if you're feeling sore, maybe it's not the time to do that.
And to be free of any irritation before doing another treatment. That's basically what I'm saying. So for me personally, I did this treatment as recommended on their website because I knew you guys would be doing this. A lot of people don't know the information that I know with Dr. Setterfield's, research. So, you're just going to go in, you're going to do what they say, of course. And I get that. And I did. So I did apply the vitamin C after the microneedling session. I did get a little burning sensation, but I didn't get any irritation. I was totally fine. I did go in. I didn't use this every week. I used it about every 9th to 10th day.
So our vitamin C serum is formulated, again, that vegetable glycerin is super gentle on the skin. There are other bases I could have chosen for the vitamin C serum, like even the silicone derivatives, other bases, and vegetable glycerin is like one of the best for just moisturizing and hydrating the skin. So even though it does have L-ascorbic acid, the other ingredients kind of like balance it out to make sure that even someone with really sensitive skin won't have any problems.
That's the most that I've ever microneedled, and I did it only on my forehead. I was fine doing that as well. I didn't have any peeling. I didn't have any dryness. And I think that has to do with these ingredients because I did use only these ingredients on my forehead because that's what I did. And yeah, so that is my experience. Another con, or I should say a recommendation to Banish, is I would love for this to be a dial where you could change the needle length. So at a 0.25 or 0.5, that would be amazing. A 0.25 is actually considered, like I said, cosmetic needling, and you can use these ingredients, the vitamin C, I wouldn't use the retinol, but the vitamin C with a 0.25, and you could actually do it several times a week. And if you worked your way up, you could.
Yeah, so that's a great idea, Jody, and maybe in the future we could do that. I was also thinking we could sell like different sizes of the replaceable heads. For me, and like what I do in business is I like simplicity and I like focusing on what's most important. So 0.5 has been researched. Actually, I have a video on this. What's it called? Skin proliferation stimulated by microneedles. And in every single article I read about the needle lengths, they've said that skin cuts to a depth of 0.5 to 0.6 creates electrical cell stimulation without any trace of scar tissue. Banish was originally created for acne scarring, and I would just like to stick with that for now. But yeah, maybe if we do like under eye stuff, a 0.25 would be better because the skin under your eyes is more delicate. And they found that 0.5 is actually better than a 2 millimeter microneedle because as long as you trigger that collagen, it starts collagen inducing. For my business, there's just been so many opportunities of launching new products and just LED mask, like vibrating stuff. Like, why doesn't this pen vibrate? I just like to keep it pure to the science and pure to the studies and pure to the result. And that's why our products don't have like bells or whistles to them. Like, there's not like super fancy packaging and, it's all glass black jars, but it's not like crazy. I just like to keep it simple. I want it to do what it says it does, which is reduce the appearance of acne scars, and then you get on with your life.
You can actually do it at 0.25 every day. So I would really love to see this at where it would, it could dial. So that's just a recommendation for me personally. So I also did have a question. Me and my husband were kind of talking about this and the thin needles, and I love the thin needles on this, but I was beginning to wonder, like, will you get the same amount of collagen being produced?
First, that's so interesting you and your husband talk about this because mine and I, we do not talk about work at all. We do not talk about, he doesn't even know what I sell. He says I sell a pokey thing and I'm like, okay. But he also has perfect skin, which is so unfair because why is it always the guys who have perfect skin? I don't know.
With such a fine needle, I'm wondering because that wound is going to be different, right, compared to other microneedling.
So Jody, this is why I took the time to get out of bed, put a full face of makeup on, and film this video for you because your questions are so good. So this article, and I don't know if you ever want to review this article, Skin Proliferation Stimulated by Microneedles by Horst Leibel and Luther C. Cloth, and I have done a video on this. They didn't want to have a microneedle that was too thick because it could cause more scarring if it's thick. So to answer your question, the reason why the needles are thin is because I didn't want to risk having a thicker needle that would scar someone's face or cause like bleeding, because once you get into bleeding, it's not necessary, right? People think like bleeding is good. No, it's not. It's just for show and tell. It's like vampire, right? It's like Halloween costume. It's giving Halloween costume. And I've also had experiences with the Dr. Pen. I've used Dr. Pen along here, and I actually have permanent scars from using the Dr. Pen. Again, my skin scars, like paper cut scars. You touch it, it will scar. Every single pimple I've had in my life left a scar. Okay, and then I have humongous pores on my nose. You probably see it in this way too super HD thing. Because I used to get extractions, and when they do extractions, they just, do that. And I used to use the pore strips, completely scarred my skin. So for me, the decision was made to create thin needles to prevent anyone from getting scars from using the Banish Kit. And yeah, in this study, they said that it did trigger collagen induction. So, but that is a great question. It's just, you just need to like hit it and quit it. Hit it and let it induce. Okay.
Pens where the needle is going to be thicker. So that's what I was curious about. I did ask that question to Banish. I haven't gotten a response as of yet. And if I do get it, I will definitely include it in here. I just kind of quickly did a,
Okay, so I got to educate our team on this response. But thank you for asking and taking your time to do your due diligence and go on the webpage, because yeah, we spent a lot of time on the information. And it's crazy because the amount of questions we get, like most of it is like, where's my package? Or like, just questions about the product. But then there's people who like answer really like PhD level questions. So it's cool. It's cool to like have that whole range of it. And hopefully this response was good. But yeah, check out the article and it can go more in depth about how it was conducted.
Quick research, I did not find anything that research talks about the width of the needle, but rather just the depth of the needle. That's all they really talked about in their studies regarding microneedling.
So if you think about it too, when you have cystic acne, the cystic acne is really deep into the skin. And for mine, it was big and it bled, which caused the scarring. So again, loss of collagen because it's so deep. And then the scarring, like you get wider scars depending on that size of that acne. So for microneedling collagen induction therapy, you want to just go as thin as possible to trigger it, but you don't want to create any more damage or trauma to the skin. And if it's too thick, again, you can scar your face like I did.
So do I recommend this pen? I absolutely do. I love the pen. I will continue using the pen. I just caution you using the serum right after. Maybe it's something that you want to do, like using the serum right after maybe 2 to 3 months until you see your treatments, and then maybe, not doing that any longer.
Where's the tablet? Where's the tablet? It's over there. You want to say hi? Hi!
I'm not even shy.
You're not even shy? Okay, so thank you so much, Jody. She says that she definitely recommends it. Everyone decided to come in.
I would not use the serum all the time for like life, I guess, because of those ingredients that I told you.
So thank you so much, Jody, for your non-sponsored, non-biased opinion. I love receiving feedback. I feel like that makes me a better CEO. And who to better listen to than people who know skincare and what they're talking about inside and out. So I definitely keep those suggestions in mind. But yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to really do such a thorough, in-depth review. And I hope I answered some of the questions. And I will definitely take your feedback. So thank you all so much for watching. Check out some of the other videos. If there's any questions you guys might have about the products or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to do a video reacting or discussing it. But other than that, I hope you guys have an amazing day.